Test one, two, three. Hey, hey, hey. It is the Telex show. Oh my. Hey, Tom. Thanks for stopping by. And thanks for Scotch for Dummies giving me a shout out. And this new camera that I've been using is not as clear as I would like it to be. I might switch back to the Surface. The only thing about the Surface that I was using, the audio would have some strange issues in the middle. It was extremely rare, thankfully, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But having a little fun tonight. A good show, Scotch for Dummies on the MacAllan. Learned a lot about the distillery. And speaking of tonight, I was lucky enough to have this in waiting from a really, really good friend, Paul. I have to give it to you, man. This was a nice sample to send, and I'll hopefully be able to afford to return in favor someday. It might be a while, but we'll see what we can do. This is the MacAllan Rare Cask Black Travel Retail Exclusive, 48% natural color, not chill filtered. And from what I've heard, if the angels peed in a glass, this is probably what it would taste like. That's how damn good I've heard it is. Hopefully I will not be disappointed. It's hard when you get a lot of hype from a glass like this, but from the people I've heard the hype from, they're trusted friends that I've known for about a year now, and I think that they know what they're talking about. So this is going to be fun. Also, an older one I have reviewed on Distiller. I have not done a video review yet. I wanted to get out there. And Lee, if you're watching, I'll try to save you a sample of this. It's getting kind of low. But this is the Springbank Green 13 organic barley deal. And as you can tell, I think I liked it a little bit. So we'll have to pour us a little dram of that. We might as well pour it now and let it sit. I have already poured the MacAllan out, let that sit for a bit because great things take time. And likewise with this guy here. And we'll take a look at both of them. I think we'll start out with the MacAllan. Now, I've heard it's peated. It's very slight. I know some people get it, the peat smoke. Some people don't. I don't want to mess with the taste too much. We're going to start with the MacAllan just out of respect because I want it to be a crystal clear, non-influenced experience. I've only poured a little bit out of the bottle, and thanks again, Paul, for being so generous on this one. This is going to be something else. I have a feeling this is going to be up there with the Brooklady Black Arts 4.1 that I was also able to get a general sample from a guy named Dram Dude, and thank you so much for that earlier experience. It was one of my first over $300 bottle experiences that I'll never forget. It's a memorable glass. Hopefully I'll be able to get it again sometime. I was able to get the Black Arts 5 at the Whiskey Expo in Indianapolis. I liked it maybe a little bit better because there was like a mushroom note that was kind of intriguing on the 4 I was getting, that I'm not sure if I liked it as much, but I wasn't getting as much of that on the 5. So I might have liked it a little bit more, but they're extremely similar profiles overall. Good glasses, but I'm hoping that this one's going to beat it because that's like the top 3. I put that up there with the equivalent of like an Ardbeg Ardbog, or maybe like a Lagavulin. I never had the official. I think there's a 18-year official. I know the Scotch for Dummies got to take. I can imagine this. It's kind of like that caliber of a whiskey. But the Lagavulin 12's cask strength, something to sneeze at. So let's go in for a little nose here. Oh wow, my, that is surprisingly good. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. That's Paul knows my weakness is a sweet dram too. I like a heavy peat. I like a heavy flavor, but I also like the sweetness. And man, you can smell. Oh, it's like a beautiful balance though. It's like the molasses and the brown sugar and the toffee, really heavy, conquered beyond conquered, like the purplest grapes you can imagine. Oh my, it's got some floral properties in there too. It's a real nice layer of floral meets sweet, and I do get some smoke. I do get it. It's so subtle, but it kind of it sticks with you. Wow, a lot of people doing a lot of comments. If I'm looking up, I'm looking at the comments. Adrian, dude, thanks for stopping by. Gave you a shout out earlier. Yeah, some dark juice. This is uh this is natural color too. And let me get a little white balance so you guys can get a better appreciation of how dark this really is. We're talking. I mean, this is kind of trying to get the angle of the light, but as you can see, it's a dark character there. I would call that beyond brown amber. I would I would put that in the burnt sienna kind of area, like a sepia kind of. That's a dark one. Saltira, thanks for stopping by. Are all MacAllan sherried? That is a good question. I do not know, actually, off the top of my head. I'm not. I mean, I have had a MacAllan 12, regular. I guess you call it a single cask. I've had their recently. I've had their triple cask, and I think it was a 15 triple cask. I had it at a new chop house down the street from me with excellent new restaurant, great steak, filet mignon, just to die for. And they had that as an offering. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try it. That was good. Nice sweet. I think most MacAllans are sherried. As far as 100%, I'm not quite sure about that. Yes, Tamar, the black arts are really good. It's a very complex dram. It has 100 notes in it that it'll keep you circling the flavor wheel, and you'll find something new every time. Sounds great already. Yeah, it is very good. Everyone's right about Springbank. Doesn't disappoint. I've never had a bad one yet. This one's different. We'll get to that in a little bit because I have tasted it before. It's not your typical Springbank by any means. It's not like the 10 or the 12. Never had the 15 or 18, but the other 12s and the 19s that I've had, completely different. I never really had a Springbank that was really similar than to another one. So that kind of tells you how well versed they are with variety. Um, Tom R says to everyone he just got a Springbank 12 green label last year's bottle at $20 discount. Yeah, you got a great deal on that up at, man, because this was going for at least I think 125 to one something. It was not below $100. I believe Ralphie in that it is a quintessential Scotch distillery. Yeah, if you're talking about Springbank, which I think you are, then you're right on that one. What is with the green label? It's a organic barley is the difference on the green label. A lot of green notes you're going to get in this. You're going to get mint. You're going to get. I've heard green bananas. I didn't get that personally, but I did get like some herbs. Got some. Oh my. But you also get a lot of the vanilla and stuff, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Um, Fine oaks are not sherried, right? I'm not sure. Gold is no sherry, same like Cass says. Fine Oak series also uses sherry, Cass Lee says. So there you go. I can't even think of a MacAllan that's not a sherried glass because MacAllan is noted for being a sherry bomb, basically, kind of up there with Abelauer. I mean, MacAllan has a bigger reputation. And a lot of their bottles are up in that realm of the super sherry bomb deal. But yeah, when I think MacAllan and Abelauer, I instantly think sherry. But Tomar thinks he's had too many drams tonight to open up his green label, maybe over the weekend. All right, well, um, hopefully another time you can do a virtual rewind and share it with me. Lee says MacAllan Rare is just where they pick the best cast from the group and set them aside for the rare, but black rare is with the finished in XP barrels. Yeah, I can definitely tell. I looked at your notes, Lee. I didn't want to dive too deep yet because I don't want to be overly influenced. But I'm trying to. I remember one of you guys did not get this smoke the other ones seemed like they did. I can't remember if it was you or Paul. I'm kind of looking here to see which one was which. I think you got a little bit there. Maybe Paul was the one that didn't really get much out of it. They both write some lengthy reviews. They're very in depth, so it'll take me a while to decipher through all. He didn't get much milk at all, but you did get a little bit. I have a feeling, right? Because I'm still getting it. I mean, it's underneath of the the figgy raisiny kind of real bright floral notes too. But it's back there. I gotta have this set. This is neat. This is 48%. This is my sweet spot. I wouldn't dream about touching this with water. And there are some really nice looking legs in this glass. My goodness, they're like well defined. You've got one. What's the distance with that? Probably a good, a few centimeters between each leg. Really well defined, and that tells you that the viscosity is really like it's going to be a nice heavy mouth coat. I have a feeling. Wow. 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 Hmm. Damn. Wow. Man, and I think this thing runs like 450. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, but I think you have to pay like upwards around 450 for this bottle, and to me it's a damn shame because I like it so much. I'll never be able to taste it again. Wow. That palate, man, is a powerhouse. It's like being roundhouse kicked by a taekwondo master right in the face, but in a good way of flavor. Man, I got some wild notes too. I mean, there's even root beer in there. There's like sassafras and wow, big time raisins. That figgy molasses, very thick, sweet, heavy mouth coat, nice and oily. Smooth though, not overly sweet, not overly anything. It's got a delicateness to it too. It's hard to explain. I think the floral properties often knows that transform into the palate when you're taking a sip. There's something that's making it so well. I hate to use the cliche smooth, but it is a damn smooth drink. Leah, I'm sure can give some extra notes. If you don't mind, let me know what you thought. I'm sure you liked it, man, because this is right up my alley. And yeah, I know we have similar taste profiles when it comes to assertive, nice, heavy flavor. It's a long finish too. Wow, pleasant too. Not a. It's at first I thought it was a little dry, but then it comes back. It's weird. It's almost like a tease. Mm. Some chocolate, but really bright notes too. I'm trying to think of the fruit besides the figs, the raisins, because there's some light fruits that are also in there that are giving it a lot of balance. And I'm sure it's more of a on the grape end, not a red grape by any means, more of a lighter. Oh my! I'm sure that there's some honey, and that the light dark battle is really well done. My goodness, this is not going to last long. Unfortunately, it's going to make me cry. Oh my! Saltire says he did a stream a few days ago with the Clownish 14. I think I'll watch it and see your thoughts. I'm struggling with it, and it's 2/3 done. Huh. I have really enjoyed the Clownleash 14 because I like I love the mid-level fruits. I was getting the peaches, the nectarines, tangerines, oranges out the wazoo, right in your face. I mean, powerful, nice heavy mouth coat, waxy, but I don't mind waxy if it's not a grain whiskey like the Gravine. I can't handle it. It's too candle waxy for me. But when it comes to a nice malt with a lot of flavor, I do like a heavy mouth coat with that. Why are you having such a problem with it? Just out of curiosity, I'm just wondering. Lee's feels like they did black by regular side by simple, and you couldn't tell the black apart from the regular cask, the rare cask versus the rare cask black. You couldn't tell the difference. Hopefully, I'll get to make that comparison. I wish I had that one to compare it with, but you know, I'll maybe someday I'll be able to do that. Looking over at they're both 5-star drams, yeah, for sure. I can imagine if this is similar. I can imagine what it tastes like. Because if I take this and take the the smoke away, the finish on this is still going, and I'm getting like cashew nuts, like peanuts, cashews, hazelnuts. Wow, it just like happened all of a sudden, like out of the blue. I'm just sitting here talking, and then I guess the oxidization on the finish just kicked in. That is the craziest deal. Hmm. Let's get back. Lee says it's over 500 in the UK, and it's 70 centiliters instead of 750. Wow, yeah, that's a pricey. But I think it was 450 from what Paul was saying, but I could be wrong in the States. But I'm not sure if that's correct. Don't quote me on that. Saltier says that he thinks he's in the same. Let's see. He struggled with the Springbank 12 cast strength at first. There's much going on with that. I came back a few minutes later and loved it, and I was able to pick out much more. With the cleanse, I'm not getting much. I'm frightened to put water in it. Yeah, I would not put water on it, Saltier. I mean, I did get a different twist. Please watch my video when you get a chance and see what you got. I can't even talk. What I received off of it, and see if you could get, you got with salt water. Yeah, I think you'll if you take I think since you like drams to sit a bit and reapproach them later, you might be a big fan of what oxidation does over time to a lot of different whiskey. So I wouldn't be afraid to open up a bottle, have a dram, give a dram to a friend, let the bottle sit for a few minutes before you even come back to it, and I think you'll find that you might enjoy a lot of the ones that you're not quite sure about right off the bat even more. Because I do that same thing. When I first had a Lagavulin 16, I thought it was good, but after it sat for a little bit and I had that third or fourth dram from it, it was damn good. And I think the oxidation really brought out the bacon and the earthy peat even more, and just how it is chemistry. um, Everyone's like, how does the Springbank compare to this Glen Scotia 15? This one, it's a different experience. If one's better than another, though, that's a tough one, man. I do like the Glen Scotia 15 a lot. This one, at first, I might not have been as into. I'm really eager actually to reapproach it here in a second and see what I get, because it got better in time. It is one of those. It feels young for 13 at first, but I think because of all the green factor that you get from it, but I think over time it gets better. Samuel Cass says he's a huge Clownish fan and loves it. Yeah, me too, man. Saltier says, funny how you should mention comic Compass Box. I opened up Spice Tree the other night, and the nose was similar. I felt the Clownish. Yeah, Compass Box uses a lot of Clownish in their blends, as does even Johnny Walker, I think, and some of the other big guys that do a lot of blending. Clownish is really great for getting that thick factor in there. More thumbs up. Let's help Telex. I appreciate it. Yeah, please like and subscribe when you get a chance. I appreciate it. Just doing it for fun, but the better I get, the more I get to do. So that's always a good thing. Tamar says he opens the bottle 2 drams, let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks, try again. Yeah. It's a great standard approach, I think, to tasking the bottles. I agree. Lee says Compass Box is a base blend that they use leveling type of agent in most of their core bottles. They age the base longer in hopes of making their blends tie in together somewhat. Yeah, they're really good at it too. In most cases, the double single I thought was good. It didn't impress me near as much as the no name was fantastic. I've got that Peat Monster cast strength back there. We'll do another show. Appreciate the sample, Lee, and we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking that's going to be good. I know you like the no name better. Haven't tried the phenology yet. I'd like to try to get my hands on that one maybe, and some other ones. I have a bad feeling I'll probably end up collecting them because they have great bottles from what I've seen. Yeah, if you don't mind, Saltaire, watch it over the weekend, and let's get to the another last sip of this guy, and then we'll go on to the Springbank. Wow, this is so good. I'm enjoying this very, very much. I wish I could have had a replicator so bad to take some juice that I really like and just make more. I'd be replicating this stuff like water. Oh my goodness, this is I'm really, really hesitant on giving anything a 5-star rating. I liked the Tomatin Decades a lot when I first did it. I first gave it a 5, then I knocked it back to a 4.75. Same thing with the Ardbeg Kelpie, the Dark Cove committee release, the trying to think of some other 5 or really close to 5-star drams that are. But not having 18 is really close to 1. It's a 4.75, I'd say. Let's see. Lagavulin 12 cast strength, but this one I think I might have to give it a solid 5. I mean, I don't know if there's really much I would change about it because it's got great color, it's natural, the only thing it doesn't have is the age statement, but I don't really need that to know that this is a damn good dram. It's got some spiciness too, some like I'm trying to determine if it's white pepper or black pepper. My instinct was to say black pepper, but the brightness of it makes me think white pepper. So maybe there's a mixture of both. It's so darn good. I wish I had like 4 of these. Well, I'm glad I poured myself a small sample to start with because Leah's right. I'm gonna sit and ponder this one for quite a while and really enjoy it. This is gonna be if I ever win the lottery or if something really, really damn good happens to me, that's a bottle that I would be like, can I have one of those for a present, please? Mm. That is super, super duper. Let's cleanse. I want to enjoy the finish for a little bit though before we do that. But I already poured the Springbank 13. Let me get the notes up for that one while we're letting that finish just keep going. That is unbelievable. Yeah, this green 13 Springbank, and if you haven't watched the other videos, they use dunnage warehouses. They're great, leathery, earthy feel to their whiskeys. This does have that, and this is the organic the barley that I was referring to is the trademark kind of this particular glass. This is sherry casks, and it's 46%. There's only 9,000 bottles made of this. They do have a Springbank Green 12 that was, I think, an earlier year than this, and that's the one I think Tom was able to find. Surprisingly, I'm the only one that's ever reviewed this on Distiller. I'm not sure if I got an early offering of it or what. Let me see if there's a date on this guy, because sometimes they actually put dates on their bottling, and they do their own bottling there and their own floor malting everything. It's a beautiful distillery. I can't say enough good things about them, and I wish there was a date on this guy, but I do not see one. If I had to take a guess, though, I have a feeling that this is probably going to be mid 2017. The Springbank Green 12s probably, a year prior to that. I'm not sure when they started doing these, but wow, I'm still enjoying this finish of this MacAllan, so bear with me just a little bit more. This is unreal. All right. Wow. Linger, linger, linger. That's going to be the theme song to that dram is going to be in honor of the late I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of her name, but Dolores Dorodin from the Cranberries. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? But you know what? Even though it's torture because it's so damn good, I'm glad it does linger for quite a while. That's a damn good one. Let's have a little sip here to cleanse. Hey, Drew, thanks for stopping by. Oh my, that was excellente, and I'm glad I have a big number of that left. Make sure that bottle's on tight. Don't want any angels getting their share of that stuff. That's for sure. Now for the Springbank. Yeah, good question, Lee. What's everyone's sipping? Oh, it's got Big Pete Christmas edition. It's got bits of Port Ellen in it. Oh, so you do know what's good. Damn you. Man, everyone's getting the Port Ellen but me. Drew, Bills from Scotch for Dummies, they had the Provenance Port Ellen. Wasn't that like a 32-year-old, some crazy ass stuff that you guys found? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, they got a 1,500, at least 1,000 or 1,500 bottle of Scotch sitting there, man. And I'm just like drooling. My tongue's on the floor. I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'd kill to have it's the nose of that bottle, more or less a taste. One day, Port Ellen will be mine. And I hope I don't have to wait till I'm 80 when the noon make has gone through his 30-year period to get it. Salter's having bourbon. He's having Four Roses small batch. Good call. That's a good one. I've heard. I'm not a bourbon guy, but I've heard you can't go wrong with that. He's got the Cask Strength 10 Benromic earlier. Oh, saving it for the weekend. I had recently. It's funny. There's a controversial dram lately. I'm gonna talk to Lee about that a little bit. The Benromic 2006 Peat Smoke. We recently took a look at that, and I've noticed that I know that you guys had it early on in your whiskey experience, and at first kind of liked it, and then recently reapproaching it after having so many different drams, you're not really into it as much. And I would think I would have a similar experience, being that I started with Isla and did a boatload of Ardbegs and Lagavulins and Lafroigs and Kalila and all that, and then to go to that, and I still kind of liked it. I kind of felt funny about it because I gave it like a 3.75 out of 5, and these other guys were giving it lower grades, and I thought, well, I don't know, maybe I think sometimes it matters, like if you have anything else right before, right after, where you're having it. If you're having it during the middle of the day, late night, that kind of thing might make a difference too. But I thought it was pretty good. Tell me what you guys thought of the, if you have had it, the Benromic 2006 Peat Smoke, or any Benromic Peat Smoke, just out of curiosity. I thought they did a good job for a space side doing peat, because I had some doozies out there that were not so good that I couldn't even finish it. I still have an enough flaughter back here. Sorry, Lee, but I still have like a half of that sample left because it just didn't. It was okay, but it was either overly tangy or overly sweet with the peat, and it just threw me off. But like I like a lot of peat, but it's got to have some sort of, I guess, something either to balance it off with, or be so earthy that the twang isn't there, or maybe if it's just they put too much of a sort of a flavor like sweetness with the peat, maybe that makes it off or something. I don't know, but anyway, let's go in for a nose on this guy. I get some subtle peat smoke in there, and you do get a lot of. It's funny because Before I was talking about the green bananas that I didn't get it, but I'm actually getting a little bit of that. Definitely get the mint and some parsley, some that Dunnage leathery goodness, earthiness. Oh my! And for my notes, I did take a couple of drops of water to really unlock the palate. But you get some nice fruit in here. You got some pears, some green apples, some vanilla. We'll go neat just to start off with. This is a 46%, so not something I normally would want to put water on, but when it comes to a particular barley like this, I'm not usually big on the floral or the 100% barley, Isla barley. Like if I go for a Port Charlotte, I'm going to go for the Scottish barley. Um, I'm not sure what it is about it I like better, but it's just different, a totally different profile. And this is more of that Isla barley kind of note to it. The bartender's malt, Lee says, is 47. Yeah, on your I think you're talking about the Alcantoshan. I've seen that recently. Do you think that's worth a try? Or and Saltier looks like he's talking about it too. Sounds pretty good, he says, going for 40 pounds. Um, I saw that recently. I wanted to know if it's worth a pickup, a try or not. I did like the American Oak, and I did like the Three Wood. Not the greatest in the world, but 3.5, 3.75, somewhere around there on those two guys. Ooh, that's good. You get that trademark Springbank leathery Dunnage warehouse, smooth caramel, but I'm not sure if it's sulfuric or if it's tannins that gives it that kind of funk to it. It's got a little bit of a funk. Earthy peat of some sort, man. Whatever it is, I love it. It's so darn just well smooth. It's funny because I know before I liked a little water on it, but I'm not even sure if I need it now. I mean, that's a good taste. I think I unlocked more notes, but yeah, you definitely get the toffee and the caramel. You get some mint still in there. The mint is a little heavy at first. I think with the water, it helps the mint go, dissipate a little bit. It brings out more of your nutty tones, like your cashews, nutmeg. Got like a really like a spice, star anise finish. Very very nice mid-grade spices, very well blended, and you can get some. It's not dark chocolate, but you get some. You get some milk chocolate on the finish as well, and I would put this in the hmm, at least medium, between medium and long finish, which is what I shoot for. As long as it tastes good, I want the finish to last hours. That's my deal. This is uh this is a nice glass. I remember I had this for Christmas this past year, and drank most of it when I was up visiting my mother-in-law, and it was it was it was kind of tough because my father-in-law passed away this last year, and it kind of reminded me of because he didn't drink. I mean, he had like Glenlivet in this case, but he was more of a bourbon guy. I got him Pappy Van Winkle in one year, a long time ago before it was popular, and I think right when I first maybe after I first got married or something. But anyway, he I think he would appreciate. I wish I got a chance to sit down and have a glass like this with him, and I think he would have enjoyed it. And so it's kind of a bittersweet kind of thing, but you know, it's still, everything can't be complete 100% happy all the time, but you reflect and you enjoy the time you got, and that's what it's all about. Let me go back to some comments here and catch up. Samuel's having the long roll red port. I haven't tried that. I want to try that. I've heard it's good. Yeah, you need to find the Springbank if you can. 9,000 bottles might not sound very many, but I think you can find it if you play your cards right and do enough searches. With these new laws, and that's one thing I want to touch on. They've recently changed some laws where you cannot ship from the UK. Like Masters of Malt is a big place that I thought I was going to be able to get some really nice bottles from. All of a sudden, they can only ship to Virginia, D.C., Washington, not even Washington State. It was Washington D.C., Virginia, and like Wyoming, and there's just weird choice of like 10 states in the entire country, and I'm like, what? It doesn't make sense to me at all. So I'm gonna have to find a friend in D.C. or Virginia. Maybe Lee can help me out with that and get some bottles before they just go completely freaking ballistic and cancel all shipments. It's sad. 'Cause I've had my eye on some Bunnahabhain stuff that you can't get in America. Some um, you know Bowmore that you can't get in America. I mean, there's a lot of offerings that they specifically send, and travel retail is big too that you can get through Master of Malt. I've noticed, like you can get the Kalila Moch, which means dawn in Gaelic. It's a different kind of Kalila. I never tried it. I always wanted to. It's not expensive. Get you 3 or 4 bottles, put it together as an order, and ship it on. That was my plan. And then I hear like 3 or 4 days ago they changed everything where you can't get anything shipped. I'm like, what the? First world problems. That's a that's a tough one. Looking for wonder if Mark will show up here. Tamar, you talking about Mark from the Scotch Four Dummies? I'm not sure. Sometimes he does. Drew was here earlier. He stopped by and said hey. But hopefully he'll get a chance. I need to check Masters of Malt. Yeah, Tamar. I'm not sure what state you're in, but it's not looking good. They're not shipping to Maryland anymore, and Virginia and DC is only too close to me. And I work for U.S. government, and I'm not about to try to get something shipped there. It's like asking for it. So, I know these are like two different wavelengths as far as, this is a beautiful Highland, the MacAllan Rare Cask Black, travel retail exclusive. Got a green, a Springbank green 13. But this is a damn good dram as well, and I would give it a really high rating. I think I gave it before I gave it let's see what I gave it. Or did I even give it a number? I might not even give it a number. I gave it a 4 at least, and I definitely think it's at least a solid 4, if not maybe a 4.25. I think I go 4.25 with this. I mean, at first, the organic barley and all of the green, the herbal things kind of throw you off a little bit, where you're kind of like, well, is this I mean, a Springbank because of the leather and the flavor, but what else is going on here? This is strange. This is different. This is not like anything I've ever had, but it really grows on you fast. That's one thing I noticed about this glass. So if you get it and you're kind of like, hey, at first you're like, what the what? This doesn't make sense. This is not something I think I might be into. Give it time. Let it breathe. Don't start throwing water on it right away either. But let it breathe for a bit, and take your time, have a few tastes before you make any type of judgments, because I tell you what, the more I have this, the better and better and better it is, and even the heel is still damn good, and I've had it open since December. So, mm. Hey Scott, thanks for stopping by. Oh, not Scott. Who is that? Oh, that's I think that's Mark and Sean and Andrew. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Drew was here earlier, but I didn't know that if you guys made it or not. You probably missed the MacAllan part, but hopefully you can rewind back after the show and take a watch. I'm on to the Springbank 13 green right now. Excellent. If you get a chance, definitely try to pick it up. Lee says that he placed a big Kalila order distillery bottling through from 18 to the 30 or wow. I bet that's going to be damn good. I have seen the funny thing is recently I went to my favorite place here in Maryland. They had the Kalila 15 unpeated and the 17 unpeated for the same price. I'm like, what the hell is that? I think it was like 120. Let me take a look real fast, just out of curiosity, because I literally just saw it the other day and I couldn't. I did like a double take, so I was kind of like, it can't be right. Yeah, they had the 15 for 115. 114.99 to be exact, and the 17 for 119.99. So that's like $5. I'm like, what the? That's strange. I know that some people are not into the 17 Kalila unpeated, and that might be why. But I mean, it can't be that bad. Has anybody had the Kalila 17 unpeated? I'm just curious to see what you thought about it. And great show. Lee's right. Great show tonight, Mark. Have you tried any of the Lone Grow Red? No, I have not yet. I'll need to try that simulcast. No, you'd like the Springbank. Yeah, I haven't had one I haven't liked yet. I got the 18 unpeated for 99, the 15 unpeated for 130. Isn't that strange? It's like, why is the 18 unpeated so much less than the 15? Unless there's something that we're not sure what the deal is here. Lee says he'd avoid the unpeated stuff, stick to what they do best. I've had the 15 unpeated, wasn't a fan. That's what I was thinking, Lee. That's one of those drams where it's kind of like, I know, Kalila is an Isla. Isla's known for the peat. But Bunnahabhain, man, they do a great job with unpeated whiskey. Well, I won't say unpeated, but very lightly peated whiskey, like the 12, the 18. Those are freaking fine. I could drink those, anytime. But the Kalila, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what it tastes like without the smoke, because I would call it more of a smoke than a peat. But if you weren't a fan of it, I probably wouldn't be a fan either. So I think I'll wait and hopefully I'll get a chance to get a expo sampling from it. Is Cleveland going to be at the one we're going to? That's one. Um, they didn't have. I was able to try a Kalila through like Portishead 110 proof or something last whiskey expo I was at, but I don't think they had the Kalila there at the show. So I'm hoping at this one Kalila will be there or make an appearance of some sort, but we'll see. Saltair wants to know, I wonder if Springbank has the best range of all distilleries. You know what? I think they are really, really damn close, because but I'm not quite sure how they're maintaining their supply. If you notice, Lefroy used to have the 15, the 18, and now they've gone, pretty much all NAS minus the 10 and 10 Cask strength. So unless you go to the 32 or 27, we're talking some crazy money for that. But I would say yes, Springbank does have the best, but how long is that going to last? How long are they going to be able to give you the 10, the 12 Cask strength, the 15, the 18, the 21, and all the other things that they offer? I mean, they have so much to offer. It's crazy. And Ardbeg just has their 10. If you can afford it, they do have that. I think they have the 17, 21, and 23, but we're talking $500 plus. I mean, and that's just nuts. That's just for a 17, 21 year. I can understand maybe 250, 300, but 500. Sorry, it's just a no go for me. So one day maybe, but Lagavulin lucky they still have They're 8, 12, 16, so they're close. I think they're second place behind Springbank if I had to pick a good solid range of the distillery. The only thing they're lacking is an affordable 21, 25. Will that ever happen? Probably not, because everyone loves the 16 so much. It probably will never come down, but that's my take on it, at least. Aren't the unpeated all cask strength too? They need to blend them down a bit, I think. Yeah, I think you might be right about that, Leo. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head if all Kalilas unpeated are cask strengths, but I think they might be. That would make sense from what I remember seeing. Dream Dude says, yeah, I think they produce more unpeated than peated. Much goes into the Diageo blends, and I think he's right. I think that and I think Compass Box gets their hands on a lot of the smoky Kalila stuff too, and that's a lot of whiskey. So I bet you they're going through a boatload of their smoky stuff, and if the unpeated isn't all that great. Have you tried? I know you said you had a bottle of unopened, a bottle of Dram Dude, but did you open up any Kalila unpeated and liked it or not liked it? Let me know what you thought of it, just out of curiosity. Tamar says yes, the unpeated styles are at cask strength. Yeah. Yeah, Lee, they're kind of, I would say I've seen half and half on those guys. I've seen a lot of unpeated in their later years, like their 15 through 21. I've seen a lot of unpeated stuff. Their independent bottlings up to 12. I've seen a lot of smoky peated stuff. And then their 30, I don't know a whole lot about. I'm pretty sure it's peated, but probably slightly by the time you get to that kind of age. I'm not sure on that. I know you said you ordered one, so you have to let me know what you thought about the 30. Tomar says he's got the 12, 15, and 18 unpeated bottles, and they're different and quite good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and safely label you as a Springbank fanboy. Now that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I will say, the 19 port cask is good. I think prefer the 12 Burgundy. I know you thought it was a bit crazy on the red wine influence on the Burgundy cask, but I really love that flavor, man. It's like a New York cheesecake all day long, and I could drink that often, and I don't think I'll ever find another bottle like that one. So I'll enjoy that. But the 19, I could have actually been a little better than what I was expecting, but overall, yeah, I mean the 10, 12 cask strength, man, those are pretty awesome. But they're not my number one. My number one, I think, is still overall. I think is solidly Ardbeg. I think it's going to be. I hate to say it, but if I'm going to be a fanboy of anybody, I'm not paid by any of these distilleries to do these reviews. I'm not influenced by any of them. But if I had to jump on someone's train that's going to Isla, I'm getting on the Ardbeg train. I can't wait to try that new Grooves. I hate the name, but the official for Ardbeg this year is called Grooves, and I'm very eager to try it because Kelpie was just fantastic. Dark Cove is fantastic. I've got an unopened bottle of Very Verdes back there. I got to open up. I want to try that. The Perpetuum was good. I've never been really disappointed. But Ardbeg 10, I'm not big a fan of because of the lime lemon kind of flavor going on, but everything else has been pretty damn good, I have to say. So that's the train I'm going to join. Looking at comments, you can tell. I can tell you that the Kalila 33 is quite good, though. Wow, it's peated. I bet it is, man. 33. I didn't even know it had a 33. I know it had a 30, but a 33. Jeez, was that a distillery bottle? I'm sure it was, but I just have to ask. Billy Stitchell's is a NAS cask strength Kalila. Is that an independent bottle? Probably. The core is peated stuff, but most of their production goes to blends. And first and foremost, yeah, 12 years is peated in the standard bottle. Yeah, that's true. Lee says, I think Springbank is at their best when they experiment. Their whiskey takes to finishing quite well. I could skip the regular 10 and 12s, though. When you say regular 12, are you talking about the cask strength 12? You can skip it? Man, I don't know about that. The 10 maybe, for the price being $70, it's a little high for a 10-year-old, but the 12 cask strength, even though it is pricier, it's like 100, 110. But man, that's a damn good bottle. I'm surprised you're not into that much. But I do like a lot of their different offerings in the casks and stuff. I'm gonna try. I found a Bartolo 9-year recently. It's from the distillery. I'm gonna snag that when I get a chance, and I'll share it with you. I had a Corey Verkin the other night. He's Saltier says he's his favorite though. Yeah, I like both of those a lot. Oh, James, this is independent bottling for the 33. Yeah, yeah. I knew they had a 30 on the distillery version, but wow, 33 even for independent bottling, man, that's got to be pretty damn good. Um, the Billy was a distiller bottle. Huh? He was a distiller manager for 40 years. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Hard to find now. I can imagine. Yeah, the only distillery people I remember are big Mickey heads and John, not John Glazer from Compass Box, but John, let's say Mitchell or Daniel Johnston from Lefroy. Um, Lee thought the 12 cast strength was a bit rough. Did you go in with some water and not be afraid to use a couple spoons? Because I mean, I'm not big on using a lot of water, but on that one, it does take, you know, a couple spoons to tame it because it is 50. I mean, it's hot, like 50. What is it? 50. 56.3, my friend. I mean, that would be a little rough for anybody, I think, going in unless you put a couple of spoons on that. That's just me, though. Mm. It's so good. Yeah. Can't go wrong with a Springbank, and I can't wait to try some other ones from them. Just as a preview for the next show, I do have a new bottle I picked up recently. I'll share with you. Can't wait to pop up this puppy open. It's the Kilkerran Cask Strength Bourbon Wood. It's a matured in oak, 54.1%. Works in Progress series, number 7, I want to say. I believe so. Not chill filtered, no added coloring. And I'm sure Hoagie Bear could probably tell me the years on this. I'm going to guess from what I remember. I think it was around 7 to 9, but it could be 5. I don't want to say and be wrong. Glengyle is doing a great job, though. That's gonna be a fun one. This might be an extra, Lee, if you're interested on the next round. Number, let's see, we're getting ready to do 6. I guess 6, right? Yeah, 6. So let me know if you're interested in maybe trying this out as an extra on round 6. I think that might be a good one. And we're gonna go with a classic that every bar should have this bottle on. If you don't, you're missing out. I don't care how snobby you are, how much you love your 21-year-old whiskey, how much you're into independent bottlings, whatever. This you cannot go wrong with. Talisker 10. It is a one that I thankfully tried early on, and I think I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have when I had the chance, because I also had the 18. It was good, but I think I'll even enjoy it more now if I have another chance at the bottle. But the 10 is magnificent, and you cannot go wrong. Talisker is not Isla. It's not Campbelltown. It's the islands, Olive Isle. I'm sorry, Olive Sky to be exact, and it's beautiful. It's got a profile like no other. Got like pepper, but if you like an Ardbeg Corey Verkin and you don't want to pay that price, this is the next best thing in my opinion. That's just me though. So that's Jamdu says his 10 is empty. Yep, Tom R loves it. Yep, Lee says it should be mandatory, and these guys know what they're talking about. So you got to listen. Brian Beauty, Drew, yeah, it's that's going to be on the next, I think, review. Is that guy maybe the Kilkerran Cask Strength Bourbon Wood works in progress? So, wow. Yep, this one grows. This one gets better and better. I'll try to save you a sample, Lee, if you're interested. I don't think you've had this 13 Springbank yet. I think you said something about you want to take a try at it. So I'll see if I can If I can save you a little bit, you got a Talisker 25 arriving tomorrow. Man, that one's another controversial bottle. I think that's the one that Scotch for Dummies were saying that they had a 25 and a 30, and one of them they weren't too keen on. I might have been the 25. Don't quote me on it. I've never had it. The oldest one I've had is the 18. Curious to see if you remember, Drew, which one it was that you were kind of like, eh. Um, and what was it about the 25 that you were like not sure about? You want that Springbank for sure. Okay, well, I'll definitely save the rest. I'm not sure if I'll be able to take all these with me because I already plan on taking the Bonahov 13 Marsala, the Lafroig Carriages 2014 Amontillado, and the Octomore 7.3 that I was going to give to you and Paul. I'll see if I can throw this in there and maybe give you guys a sample or something on the way. We'll see. How about that? But yeah, that's going to be a fun time. Dramdude's got a sample of the Talisker 30. I bet that's damn good. I would kill to have a try at that one. Yeah, Drew wasn't into the 25. I wonder what was it about that one that you were kind of like, yeah. Yeah, Lee's correct. I mean, even if there's mixed reviews on the 25, it can't be bad. I mean, it's Talisker, and their Distiller's Edition is one of my favorites too. I've had that was my first bottle that I bought personally, and I was looking at the find it for like $80, which is a steal for what you're getting, like taste wise. Because I would equate it just as good as the Lagavulin Distillers, which runs to 120 to 130. So it's kind of a no brainer. Tell Mars to shoot me a message on Facebook tomorrow. Oh, okay. They're gonna meet up in Chicago. You're lucky, Drew. You get to hang out with Tom. That'd be fun. Yeah, Tom. Let me know if you're ever out in Maryland. I know you said your mom lived out here, so I live in Severna Park, which is between Annapolis and Baltimore, kind of like right in the middle. So if you're ever out this way, definitely give me a shout out. I think you got my email, telex@outlook.com, and we'll have to have a dram at least if you're out. If there's not really a lot of good Scotch bars in this particular area, unless you go to like the Baltimore. There's Birds of a Feather. In DC, there's Jack Rose, of course. There's a couple other ones in Baltimore I know about, but it's a little bit of a drive. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around. It's been definitely fun, as you can tell. I'm always have a hell of a great time. I'm gonna save that MacAllan. Thanks again, Paul, for the generous pour on that. And will come up next. Also, not this next one, but soon. Lee was gracious enough to do a Holland Park Fire, Holland Park Ice, and I'd love to do a comparison with those two for a show. I think that might not be the next one, unless Lee can make it. If Lee can make it, I might bump that up. I'd like Lee to be there because he was generous enough to help me out with the sample. So Telex you and me to probably coordinate soon about what's going on. Yeah, we do, and I'm only a text away, my friend. Just send me a text about what you'd like to do, or if you guys want to have a conference call or something, just let me know ahead of time, and I'll make time and chat with you guys on what we're going to do. And sorry it's late, but thanks for coming by, Santa Cruz. Very cool. Yeah, we'll catch up, Corey, Dream Dude. Appreciate the deal, and yeah, Lee, I'll give you a text. I'm off tomorrow, thank goodness, and I'm just hanging out at the Casa pretty much until about 4. I might go out with the wife for date night tomorrow night. So, but I might wake up around 10 or 11 tomorrow. So probably around 10 or 11, I'll shoot you a text unless I have to eat or something. But I got the kid at home tomorrow too, so we'll figure out something. All right. Well, cheers, Solange, and thanks for stopping by. It's been a great show with you guys, and can't wait to do the next one already. Hope maybe even Tuesday I might swing one, so we'll see.